Hello guys, I'm just going to be making a short video today to kind of explain the booking process for CenterParcs. I know that booking processes for some holidays can be quite stressful, especially if you don't have a lot of IT knowledge, and all of these seem to be online. So I thought I'd do just a quick video to kind of give you a rough guide of what to do. I'm using Firefox, and I will be just showing you a quick video, a quick guide of how to do each step. So step one, this is the Center Parcs homepage. I'll put a link for this in the description. It's a direct way to book. They do have offers and stuff on here. So for example, if you have young kids, you can get 35 quid off. If you're booking 3 months ahead, you can get 40 quid off and some extra perks, stuff like that. So you can click on those to kind of discover what else there is. But in here, you basically have your locations. You can select up to two. Winfell and Sherwood are the two kind of northern ones, and Longleat, Eldon, and Woburn are down south. They are planning to do another one, I think, on the Scottish border in the next few years, but that'll take some time to obviously create and build, etc. So I'm just going to select the two closest to me as I'm the most comfortable with them. And then you select the dates that you want. Now, I will say, if for example you decide I want this date, oh, I actually want to change it to 7 nights, it then unselects, which is kind of annoying. But basically, you have 3 nights, 4 nights, 7 nights. 3 nights is a weekend break, so you arrive on Friday, you go back on Monday. Now, you can arrive anytime from about like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, but you won't get checked into your lodge until 4. But you have full access to the facility, so if you go and you have a family, you can go use the pool, have food, have a wander, kind of get to explore the place before you check in. All of your belongings will be in the car still. That's perfectly fine, that's allowed. Or you can arrive for and after and just check in and what have you. A 4 night break is a weekday break, so that's Monday to Friday during the week. Check in Monday, leave Friday. And 7 nights is either Monday to Monday or Friday to Friday, depending on which way you want to book it. As you can see here, you can do either way. For the purposes of this, we'll do 7 nights, looking at the end of March. This is where you can choose your lodges. So, for example, I'm just doing 2 adults, so I'd only need one lodge, but you can do parties of many, many people. I mean, I booked 11 before, but you can do up to 3 lodges, which I believe can be up to about 18 people, not including kids. And that's not including the tree houses, which have extra room. I believe the most you can get in a lodge is 6 adults, as it's 6 individual rooms, and then obviously if you have a cot and stuff like that, you can have them in. You can't really whack people on the sofa, as far as I'm aware. It's just the way it is. And then here you get to choose your who's going with. So for this, I'll be doing 2 adults, but you have your children, toddlers, and infants, um, and also dogs. Now, dogs do cost extra. Dogs are fairly restrictive, because you will have a set amount of dogs that are allowed on each site at a time. So, for example, I went away with my friends one weekend to Winfell Forest, and I dropped them an email saying, "Can my other half bring my dog for one day?" Because you can get guest passes for visitors. And they said no, because we already have the max amount of dogs allowed on site for that weekend, so we can't allow another dog to enter the site. Fair enough. It's for insurance purposes and what have you. It is in the middle of a forest, so if your dog runs off, they have inherent risk, etc., etc. Um, but for this purposes, I will be showing you the 2 adults. You can also do how many bedrooms and if you need an adapted lodge for accessibility needs and stuff like that. And you just click search there. Now I'm going to quickly show you. This is a dog one. That's what I mean by restricted. So for example, the week we're looking at there, I just did a 4-day one, is not available, but luckily the Monday after is. Now when I was booking my next break at CenterParcs, I was looking probably about September time for the rest of the year, and nothing was coming up till January. So the dog-friendly lodges can really book out quickly. So if you're wanting to go somewhere that, or go with your dog, um, you can certainly do that. Just make sure you try and book as early as possible, or for example, not around peak times like school holidays. It can get really busy and booked up pretty quickly. So back to the search here. So you do have a number of different types of accommodation. You have apartments, which are essentially a kind of, I'm going to say flat block, but it's not flat block. It's 3 stories high, building of a couple of rooms. Um, you can see here, if I show you this, this is kind of like a downstairs one, and this is an executive apartment. So as you can see, nothing above, kind of detached but still next to each other, and you have out straight onto the outside. Um, so that would be great for dogs. The normal lodge apartment, look like this. It's kind of a studio apartment, so you've got your bed and your kitchen in one room, and then the bathroom, kind of like a hotel room, but a little bit bigger because you do have this full kitchen, full size bathroom, and also a nice sitting area, balcony, that kind of stuff. I personally haven't stayed in an apartment just because I go with my dog, and as much as you can put the dog in an apartment, if my dog needs to go to the toilet, he needs to go to the toilet. So you do, I believe, get a ground floor apartment if you do go with your dog, um, which gives you access straight outside to the gardens, so the dog can go have a potty break. Um, but and I just prefer lodges, which I'll show you. So this is what I'll be staying in at some point this year. This is a executive style studio lodge. Um, so it's an individual lodge like this. It's 1 bedroom, perfectly adequate amount of space for 2 people, and our dog, who is quite a small boy, as you'll see from my other video about how dog friendly CenterParcs is. Shout out to that. So quite small. This is kind of the look you get with the I'm not going to say basic lodges, but with the lower end of the lodges, it looks kind of like this, kind of wood paneling outside. You've got a little walkway to get to the apartment or the lodge, with bike rack, stuff like that. Um, and a little outside space for a barbecue. If you've got a dog friendly one, they've got a bit to tie your dog up to, and a bit of nature. So you'll often see like ducks, squirrels, etc., out there, and you can just kind of chill outside if you want with your morning coffee and stuff like that. You can obviously get the executive apartments, the honeymoon lodge. I've not stayed in this personally, but it looks like you get a sauna as well as the other basic amenities. So then you go with the this is a 1 bedroom executive lodge similar to above, but it's 2 story, so it's got a downstairs and an upstairs. Again, not stayed in this, but I have stayed in similar. Um, Again, penthouse, a bit more expensive. There's your basic lodge. Then you move up to kind of the woodland style lodges or the new style lodges, where you've got a little staircase up to your apartment or your lodge. It's a bit bigger. It's got like a separate kind of kitchen dining area, a couple of bedrooms. What really bumps the price up is if you start going with the likes of these lodges, the 3 bedroom new style detached, and the executive lodges. They have, obviously you can click details here to kind of see what's included, but I believe these all have a separate ensuite for each bedroom. Whereas if you go with kind of the basic lodges like this one here, this one will have one shared bathroom between up to 3 rooms. Um, and then the more expensive you go, you can have individual en suites. So it kind of depends on what price point you're comfortable with and what kind of living arrangements you're happy with. If you're with family and you don't mind sharing a bathroom, that's fine. Then you move up to the more expensive options, which is the executive lodge with a games room and a hot tub, and the 4 bedroom executive lodge. Obviously, the games room, you get like a snooker table and stuff like that, or a pool table. You can chill with your family and play some games in the lodge. And then moving up, which isn't on this list, is the tree houses, which I believe sleep 4 or 5 bedrooms. They're set away. They're quite expensive. They have a hot tub, a games room, etc. And you're kind of up above off ground in like a treehouse style environment. Sure, you can find pictures of those if you require. I think that can be upwards of like 5,000 a night. Sorry, not night, for a week break. I've obviously never stayed because I cannot afford that, but I have cycled past them and walked past them, and you can kind of see what it looks like. You can get a feel for it. You do get, with some of the more expensive options, you get to have your car parked outside the lodge. Whereas for the rest of them, you on the check-in day, you get given a time, and you can drive your car to a lodge, unload it, and then you've got to drive it back and leave it in the car park for the rest of the week. So if you need your car close for whatever reason, or you can't really drive around site, if you've got extra stuff that you store in there that you need, you can certainly do that. So for the purpose of this, we will go with a new style executive twin studio apartment. So you just click book now after you've looked at the details and stuff. It does take a while to load. Now here you will get a map. Actually, I'm going to go back and choose a different one to give you a better example of this. Just a second, so we'll choose this one. Yes, so here you will get a map. Now each Center Parcs site has a different map. That's how it works. They're all different. And you get to book on an approximate area of where you want, or you can select a lodge number, or you can do no preference, right? Now the central area is this pink area here, quite close to, you see these main buildings here with the pool and stuff. That's known as the village square in each Center Parcs. It's where the majority of your restaurants are going to be. It's where the pool is, it's where the shops are, and it's where it's going to be near the lake, where the lake activities are. Now, the Jardin de Sport can be in different locations. So this is at Sherwood. Jardin de Sport's a bit further away. At Winfell, the Sports Plaza is kind of back over here, and the outdoor one's over there. So it kind of depends on what you guys are happy with. Now, I will say, depending on where you go, the walk to the centre of the village can be different. So for the most part, you're not going to be walking more than like 25 minutes. However, if you are staying at Longleat. Longleat has a section which is like down here on the map. It's grey. It's called the Wetlands, which is a considerable distance away from the rest of it. Now, I haven't stayed there personally. I have been to Longleat, but I didn't stay there. I don't know if that's some sort of expansion they did or something like that, where they needed extra room. But it is a significant walk away. It's obviously cheaper, but that's what you get. Now, if you are in particular about where you want to stay, you can download a map like this, which will open when it's completed. So you can open a map, and on this you can see each lodge number. So say you want one that's over here, you can go back to your booking and you can select a lodge number and go, I want this one. Now they do have prices based on where they are. It's pretty much the same as doing this. But if you want an actual specific lodge or specific area, you can do that rather than just saying this entire pink area. If you're like, I want to stay over here, you just go and you choose, hey, I want to be in 479. You go back here and you look, see if 479 is one of the ones you can book for this, which it is, and you do that. Now, if you click no preference, 90% of the time you are going to be given the middle of nowhere. I booked with my friends, I clicked no preference, and they stuck our two lodges miles apart. So I then got up on the chat. If you do this, by the way, you're perfectly able to. We had two separate lodges and we wanted them together. So I got up on the live chat, I had to speak with them. I was like, would I be able to pay to get them next to each other? Yes, that's fine. Paid the extra, got them next to each other. It was only like an extra 70 quid because we moved. We were like out in the boonies kind of. But it's completely up to personal preference. If you do not mind at all where you are staying, no preference is fine. You will find with the dog-friendly ones that you are restricted on where they are, and with the apartments, you only get to be in the apartment blocks. Obviously, you can't be in a lodge. So a couple of the dog-friendly ones are, for example, this area down here with these are dog-friendly. So this dog-friendly area here, which weirdly enough isn't right next to a dog park, but these dog-friendly ones are next to dog park. In fact, this is a dog-friendly single bed lodge here. There's other dog-friendly sections kind of up here, like the occasional dog-friendly lodge. At Winfell, they're all kind of kept together as well. A couple down here. Obviously, it depends on what price point lodge you're going to. They'll stick you in a different one. But these are kind of like the cheaper ones, and there's more expensive ones that are around for dog-friendly. But it is what it is. These are some of the bigger ones down here, you see. like this 938, etc. And the tree houses, I believe, are down here. Yes, these are the free tree houses they have. Now they only have three, so they book up quickly, but that's just where they are. So say we want that one, perfectly fine. Let's continue. Go on to the next step. Our next step is the extras page. So here we have just a list of extra things that you can add. Now, cycle hire can be necessary depending on where you are and if you like cycling. As I said, I go with a dog, so I don't cycle anymore, but complete option. I will also say, just jumping back on choosing where you are, if you want to know how far it is to get from your lodge to a certain place, what you can do is open up Google Maps. All of Center Parcs is on Google Maps. So say I am here and I want to walk over here. I do directions and then go from here to change this to here. If I change this, try that again. Add stop, whatever. Makes it easier, and then just remove that. So you see there, if we change to walking, that is a 15-minute walk. Now what you can also do is check out how it actually looks. So I know for a fact from staying here that this section here, this loop down here, is down the bottom of a hill. This thing here is a big hill, and it's kind of hilly over here and hilly over here. But what you can do if you don't know things like that is just drop your little guy on. And you look and you're like, ah yes, that's a hill going up there. I don't want to stay at the bottom of the hill. So I can zoom down and go, yep, that's a hill. Can all the people cycling. There's a little like a nature walk over there, but I don't want to stay here. This doesn't seem like the kind of place I want to stay. So you then can quickly just choose somewhere else. As you can see in Windfell, they kind of have it set so that like the lodges are in like these little circles around the outside, and in the inside it's kind of either side. This is because it was owned by another company before being brought out by CenterParcs, and that's the way they'd done it, and they couldn't redo the entire thing. But that's just a little info drop for you. Back to the actual booking. Here we have early arrival. As I said, you check into your lodge at 4 p.m. normally. You can pay a little bit extra, 60 quid, to check in at 2 p.m. instead. I have never done this because even with the dog, we rock up about 10 and we kind of go for a little walk, get some lunch, and then the sports bars at both locations have an outside area that's dog friendly. So if we don't have anything we particularly want to do, we just go and sit outside, have a few drinks, have some food with the dog, and just chill out and like meet the rest of our family, meet our friends, and then we'll get ready. And what we'll do is we'll send a party to the lodge with the dog, get the dog all settled in, and send another party back and kind of combine everything into one car if there's room. If not, we do multiple cars. Bring that car to the lodge at 4 o'clock, unload, take it back, leave it for the week. Not needed, okay? If you have, for example, young children who you know have a specific nap time at 3 p.m. and you don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere at 3 p.m., get the early arrival, get checked in early, have a little rest with them. Now, I will say the one downside of spending all of your check-in day kind of loafing around and stuff is that it's a very busy day. That is when people are leaving, that's when people are arriving. So there will be cars going around the site for the majority of the day, which there won't be the rest of the time, but there will be for this time. And so if you, for example, have a dog who likes to be, all dogs have to be kept on leash, but if you like to have a dog who likes being on a long leash rather than a close leash, then it's probably not the best time. If you have kids who are like running all over the place, not the best time because there is a lot of cars. They are limited to about 5-10 miles an hour, but still a lot of cars. And if you do not like that kind of really busy hustle and bustle, then you can check in later, or you can get the early arrival and get checked in and chill in your lodge. Okay. Other early things you can get: fire logs. There are fires in the lodges. They are little fire areas. You can technically bring your own, I believe, but you can get some already sent to the lodge. There's a gym pass. Each site has its own little gym. If you like that kind of thing, get a gym pass. You can go every day, have a little workout. You can get a family barbecue pack, which includes the little tin foil kind of outside one. You get like stations like this, but you can't put a proper big barbecue in. You just get the kind of aluminium foil little rectangles that you kind of set on fire and then cook on top of. But you can get a couple of those early if you want. You can get some food packs, like a little starter pack with some tea and bread and stuff, or a bigger one. Again, you can bring your own, but this is kind of like if you don't want to be bringing a load of stuff on the day, you can be getting these delivered. These do have things like toilet roll and fairy liquid, which I will say is a necessity. You get like one roll of toilet roll per toilet and a little dishwasher tablet and like a small bit of washing up liquid. But if you're there a week, you're going to need more. I'm not saying buy this family grocery pack. Obviously, the value of what you get isn't exactly it, and the on-site supermarket is expensive. So if you want to save a bit of money, bring a load of groceries in, or as we've done in the past, get yourself checked in, get comfortable, either on the day of or a later day, um, preferably the day of actually. Uh, Go in your car, go out of sight, go to a supermarket, get a load of stuff, bring it back. On the day of check-in, you will be very busy getting back in. However, it means you can bring the groceries directly to your lodge. Or if you don't want to do the same day, you'll have to transfer it. Now, that doesn't matter as much if you're in, for example, um, one of these lodges that I've stayed in. I believe I've stayed in like 9:15 before, because you have assigned parking here. So you can park up and just take your stuff in. But the rest of the time, you do not have assigned parking. So you could be walking from like Z here, and your lodge could be all the way over here. And so if you've got a load of groceries, that can be a long trip. So if you want to bring them with you, that's probably the best way. But obviously, anything in a fridge bag is going to have to stay until 4 if you check in early. Um, and finally, charitable donation. Donate a little bit of money to charity. Why not? Center Parcs have this Together for Short Lives charity, who raise vital funds for children's hospices. That is a worthy cause. But obviously, I'm not actually booking this, so I'm not going to click the charity option. Now, I have a test account with this. I have my own account, but obviously, I'm not going to be sharing my email because that would be silly. So I made a little test account. I didn't put the .com. It's been a long day. I apologize. And then, so if you don't have this, as I said, it's been a long day. If you don't have this, then you will have to fill in all of these and a lead booker. Now, these aren't my actual details. I don't have the phone number 777. I wasn't born in 1990, and my name isn't test user. This also isn't my address. This was a random postcode I put in. But these are kind of details you'll have to fill in as the lead booker. And then you can obviously tick to have all these kind of things, and then you have to agree to terms and conditions. Now here you add each guest as a individual person. So if I said I was taking Mrs. Test User, then I would have to add them in there. This is so we can keep track of who's coming. Just so they've got a number of people who are coming and any details. And if you put your email address in here, then they will get an email when you book with a link to sign up if they haven't signed up already, or if they have an account, it will be automatically added to an account. And then they can book activities through that email address rather than having to be like, hey, I need you to book some activities, I'll send you for money. They can book it themselves through the Center Parcs app or through the Center Parcs website, either or. But I will just skip that for now. We will be taking a car. You put the car registration number in. Now, why do you do that? Why do we need it? We technically don't. You can say, I'm not bringing a car, or you can put, I don't know the registration. That's fine. But what they have is cameras on the check-in area. As you're driving in, the cameras will pick up your reg. And so the person at the desk will already know what your booking is. Sometimes I might not. Sometimes, like if there's a lot of cars, it's very busy. The camera might miss your number plate, and you'll have to give you booking registration or your booking number, etc. But if you get there early, it's nice and quiet. It'll pick up nicely. Kind of save a process, really. But I'm just gonna put, I'm not bringing a card because I don't want to put in any regs there. And then you come to the do you have an offer? Now, as I said at the start, there's offers on the homepage. So if you have one of those, great. Or if you've got an offer code from someone or a repeat guest offer. I believe the repeat guest offer is if you're booking again within, I think, a month or so after your visit, then you get like 50 quid off the total booking. You know, every little helps. And there's also this flex stay. So if you're booking something for a group of friends who haven't fully decided on a date, you can flex stay it and then make changes within 14 days of your booking. It's a non-refundable deposit. I have never used it. If I'm going to spend money on a holiday, I will have people signing documents saying that they are free then, and if they're not free then, someone else is getting this place. Then you proceed to payment, and you put in your payment details, which I will obviously not be doing. You can pay in full, or I believe there are ways to pay monthly or pay a deposit and pay later. Um, Now, because I've put this as a month and a half away from this booking time, you have to pay in full. But 99% of the time, I've had it. So, say I'm looking to go away in August and it's now January. It's not January, it's February, but it's now January. You will pay the deposit and you will then be asked to pay the rest later. But obviously, there isn't a later when it's a month and a half away. So you put in your payment details there, and then you pay. Now I'm not paying, so I have an order form from a past order with some details blurred out, um, which basically it gives you your booking reference, which you might need on check-in. It gives you your arriving, your departing, total guests, what your lodge is. It will give you your lodge location. So if you haven't chosen a specific lodge earlier in the steps, then it will tell you where your lodge is here. You can view booking and you can also add it to the app, which gives you a countdown. It will also give you a countdown for when you can start booking activities. You can book activities, I believe it's 60 or 90 days beforehand. Let me just do the maths. I believe it's 90 days beforehand, roughly. Um, and so that's things like if you're wanting to go and do crazy golf, if you're wanting to go and drive the segways, if you're wanting to do the owl experience, stuff like that, you can book 90 days beforehand, either through the app or through the website. Obviously, each will have their own price, etc., etc., etc. But if you have signed up with your email, it will all be bound to that. And if you have guests signed up with their email, they can do it through that. It will automatically apply to the booking, right? And you have to pay those as well. But yes, other than that, that is the essential process of it. Now, I know people find CenterParcs expensive, etc., but I just love going. I find it nice and peaceful being out of nature. So I'm a bit of a CenterParcs kind of loser, I'd say. If you do have any other questions about CenterParcs or any other holidays in general, feel free to leave a comment. I can make other videos. I can explain myself. I will likely do a little video for when I go next month. Not sponsored. I pay for all of this. For when I go next month, maybe even when I go with my family later in the year as well, my extended family. But yes, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. And speak to you later. Bye.